Can Chinese military equipment be trusted? My answer is no. I think we're gonna use the Iranian play field as an example. Let's say as a test ground. Chinese equipment has failed to defend the skies of Iran. Chinese equipment has failed to shoot down or to shoot any of American ships. Now, there was much hype about the Chinese air defense and all that stuff. But I knew from the beginning that this stuff will not work. If you go to my TikTok channel, I've been saying that this stuff will not work. Why? I'll give you a few reasons. First, the Chinese aren't that smart. They've never invented most of those things. It's stolen technology or purchased technology. What do I mean? Most of the times, they hack into American system and get some information, not full information. Then they put together something that is still inferior to America because they're not able to get all the information. So it doesn't work. Sometimes they employ ex-employees of American defense industry. Those guys give them outdated information or technology. By the time they put together that information to come up with something, Americans have upgraded, have come up with something that is far more superior than that one. That's the other reason the Chinese equipment fail miserably against America. They don't stand up. Look, for example, Americans came up with ChatGPT. They come up with DeepSeek. Americans come up with GPS, which has been used, tried, and tested for a long time. They came with something said Beidou or Bado, something like that. The Americans came up with anti-missile systems. They came up with also their stuff that are copycats of Americans. They did not stand against American stealth, not even stealth fighter jets, Tomahawk cruise missile, knocked them out during the first seconds of the Iran war. The Americans come up with stealth fighter jets. They came up with their own stuff with J something. It's just paint. They say they are stealth, but there's no evidence that that stuff is stealth. Let's talk about the uh, Chinese defense system because they were saying they got the capacity to detect stealth fighter jet. In my opinion, that was a lie because it's a stuff that has not been tested. I want the Chinese to tell us how they tested and confirmed that their defense system can detect a stealth fighter jet. Because, to my knowledge, the Chinese don't have a true stealth fighter jet. They're working toward it, but it's not a true stealth fighter jet. So now, for them to know that their stuff can work or can detect a stealth fighter jet, they must test it against a stealth fighter jet. It must detect a stealth fighter jet. But the thing is, they don't have a stealth fighter jet. So how did they test their stuff to come and tell us that Chinese technology works? I know they're fooling a lot of Africans so much. And a lot of Africans believe. They argue with me a lot on my TikTok channel saying that the Chinese military equipment or anti-ship missiles will be able to sink an American aircraft carrier. But we are into third week now of the conflict. I've never heard that the Iranians have even attempted to sink an aircraft carrier using those Chinese knockoff stuff. So the stuff that you can rely, like in Africa, I know a lot of farmers they buy Chinese equipment, Chinese farming equipment, a tractor, Chinese catfish food, Chinese manure. They work, they produce. But when it comes to military equipment, America is still superior. China doesn't come even closer to them. Right now, they're gonna lose contracts. People gonna cancel contracts because they know that that stuff doesn't work. If we talk to or talk of the Russians, the S-400, the S-300, that stuff we know Americans already rendered them useless. They did not help in Venezuela. They've never worked in Syria. Wherever they've deployed that stuff, even Ukrainian flamingo missiles or drones, they're not even able to intercept stuff like that. So American technology is still superior